So I'll always own a Suzuki. It's a great vehicle. It's really reliable, but at 240K miles, it's getting up there, and it got me kind of thinking about the future. You know, how far do I want to bring it into wilderness with that kind of mileage? It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it is. When you're getting up to 250K miles, good to get an upgrade. And that's just what I did, you guys. I spent a lot of time in the Suzuki. I traveled across the country 7 months straight, sleeping in the back of it, because that was my dream, was to do van life. I got to do that, and it was amazing. And even before that, on off seasons on college, I would go out to places like the Redwoods. I would go camping, do videos, whatever. And then up recently, I've been doing these videos for you guys, exploring abandoned places, and it's been really successful and great. But I've been thinking about something that whole time, and that is looking at an upgrade. I like the Suzuki. I'm never going to get rid of it, but it doesn't have AC. I would like AC. I've never owned a vehicle made in the 2000s before. I would like to have air conditioning. Cruise control would be nice too, and just some of the luxuries other people experience nowadays. And the big thing is sleeping in the back of the Suzuki, because when I get to far out places, I always arrive at night. I don't have time to set up tents and stuff. So I had a bed platform I made, and I'd always sleep in the back of the Suzuki. I didn't outgrow the Suzuki, but after so much time, it's time to upgrade to a second vehicle. And that's just what I'm doing. And let me show you what I got. This is my Toyota Tacoma. And I'm not done with the upgrades yet, because in this video, we're headed all the way to Los Angeles to add something to the back of it. You're gonna recognize someone we're meeting up with. But I did make some changes to it, such as it originally came with these lights, well, the mounts for them, but the original owner ended up taking the lights away. So like, I bought it with these mounts on them. I at first didn't know what the mounts were for. Then I kind of did some research and found it's for these pod lights. So I ended up just buying the pod lights, and the wiring for the original pod lights the guy put in was already pre-installed. So all I had to do was put this new wiring into the old wiring, and it's done. That's going to be nice for arriving late at night for camping. In the front is a winch. This winch is definitely helpful for a heavy truck. And then there's a light bar up here as well. And this bumper, which I think looks absolutely amazing. It's an RC brand. Is that good, you guys? Let me know. Tacoma, Toyota Tacoma, 63K miles on it. It originally came with Falcon Wild Peaks, and I know those are popular for Tacoma owners, but I wanted my General Grabbers. I've had General Grabbers on the Suzuki. I decided to get the same thing for the Tacoma. These are the LT model, which is light truck. That's for, you know, heavy loads and stuff. And I'm putting something on the back, which is going to add quite a bit of weight. Luckily, whoever owned it before me, they built out, you know, it's a Southern California vehicle. It's from Los Angeles. So they built it out and added like aftermarket suspension, all that. That's also RC brand. They built it out, added all this stuff. The bed here, I have a tonneau cover on it, but it's a 6-foot bed. I did do some upgrades. The first one is this window tint. It didn't come with tint. It only came with the backs tinted. I ended up doing 15 in the back and 20 up front, which is great. It's not too much, but not too little. So it's not, you can't really see in the vehicle, you know? That's nice, especially traveling cross state lines and stuff, where you could keep stuff in here and, you know, you don't want thieves looking in. It's unfortunately an automatic. I looked for a manual transmission. I was on the market for a Tacoma for quite a while, and I kept finding these manual SR models, but the transmission, while it's manual, they had 200,000 miles on them, and the guys wanted 20K for the trucks. That's ridiculous. And the ones that were low mile manual transmission comparable to this truck, they wanted 35, 40K for them, which is crazy because these are 33K trucks brand new. It came with this Sony head unit, which is nice. That's $1,200 upgrade. And what I'm really gonna like is AC, air conditioning is a huge thing. I've never had a vehicle that has had air conditioning before. I've never owned a vehicle made into 2000s, so I did make some changes, such as putting these intermittent windshield wipers in, which have like a 10-second delay and all that. So before I only had ones with high and low setting, that would have drove me crazy. So 30 bucks stock on Amazon. All I had to do is remove all this, plug it in, that's it. Now cruise control is the same thing. It didn't come with cruise control. All I did was spent $7 on this stock, and I took this apart, plugged it in. It was already pre-wired for cruise control. It was just never put in because Toyota wants you to buy the more expensive trim packages, but they don't change the wiring from the base models to the higher trim models. So all I had to do was plug this in, and that's it. Now I got cruise control. Yeah, that's it. I did do a lot of thinking about the type of vehicle I wanted. I knew I wanted a SR model Tacoma because that's a reliable model. I mean, they're all great, but I didn't want like one of the push button starts. Those drive me crazy. I like the simple key, and I didn't want any of the extra luxuries that some Tacomas have. I wanted cloth seats. I hate leather seats, and I didn't want anything too complicated because when I buy a vehicle, I expect it to last like the Suzuki. The Suzuki 240K, still going strong, still doing great. I expect this Tacoma, I want it to go for at least 250K miles or 300K. I always maintain my vehicle, so it should be. Suzuki's a testament to that. Now, I did keep this seat in. I had to take this seat out to fit Lee's dog bed. This is his favorite toy. He keeps it in the truck for that reason. And, you know, it's just a bunch of storage down there. But I did keep this one in because what you guys don't see is I have a wife and I have a son. So this is for my son's seat. It fits a car seat just fine. Yeah, I keep a bunch of stuff there. I don't know, I have some changes and to build this out, but for the most part, it's all good. So this is the plan. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna head out. I should make it around 9 p.m. So 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Currently, we're in Idaho, and we got to make it all the way through Utah. So Nevada, all the way to SoCal. It's going to be a fun drive. Look at that. That is a long ways. All right, there you go, buddy. Drink up. Only the best for Mr. DiTavio. He likes this water, or whatever water I give him. He's not too picky. So this is where we're at. You could see Utah left Salt Lake City, and now we got to go through Vegas, and we got 8 hours and 9 minutes actually. I thought it was 9 hours, but apparently not. So we should arrive around 11 o'clock. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make camp before we get to the city. Lastly, we gotta give him a treat. What you want? All right. Going through Vegas now. Those are all the casinos way in the distance. And we only got an hour, 22 minutes to go. We're making great time. I gotta go take a call, you guys. I'm now outside of Baker, and I'm trying to find a place to set up camp. Maybe we'll take a left. See what's out here. This looks kind of nice. Baker, California in the distance. I got a few more hours till I get to Los Angeles, but this is gonna be a nice spot to camp. Check it out. So yeah, let's get camp set up. So this is going to be tonight's setup. Nice and easy. I got this inflatable bed put on. That's the one I brought from Montana when I did that whole trip. And I got my pillow, my blanket, and everything else is at the front of the truck. Over on this side, we got Mr. Lee. It's actually extremely comfortable in here. And then I look over, there's the city, and then the mountains over here. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed and get up around 9, head out. Well, good morning. Last night was very, very miserable because of this. The whole topper had this rain effect, and it ended up meaning we were getting rained on. Now my blanket's soaked. It's raining out as well. We're sprinkling, so I'm freezing cold. Not to incriminate myself, but I realized I accidentally brought this into California. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So now you could see this was my campground in the daytime. Honestly, this is a pretty nice area to camp. But now it's time to jump back on the road. And I'm just out in the desert. Not bad, man. I don't know how many of you all remember 99-cent stores. I grew up with them. I remember the one in Chico and Yuba City, but now they've all gone bankrupt. And unfortunately, they've all shut their doors. And this is one of them that has gone to the wayside. You still have some of the etching of the sign up front, but not really too much. So here it is. This is what I got, and it is a Project M on my Tacoma, and it looks great. This is gonna take me on a lot of adventures. I already know it. I could go out for a week at a time and be just fine. And then the back, that's the back of it, and I mean, I'll show you the inside, but it is just fantastic. And I drove it yesterday out from Los Angeles, and it did really well. It does. I don't even feel like I have it on the back of the truck. I thought I would feel it because its weight, it's like 500 pounds with all the stuff in it, but I don't even feel it. It looks great. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited for many more adventures with my new build out and setup. I do want to talk about the topper real quick, kind of a long story short situation where this is Stephen and Andrea's old topper. If you guys watched their channel, Pin in the Atlas, I know some of my viewers have. And basically, Stephen and Andrea, if you don't know, they were married and they had a channel. And they wanted to travel across the country, and they did that for a lot of years, is traveling across. And we became friends through YouTube. And we had this really amazing friendship where we would camp out and just film these videos, and it was really amazing. We had one trip where we went to Montana and filmed a bunch of videos. Then they went over to my house because me and my wife were headed to Las Vegas to see some of her family, and because of that, I didn't want to, I couldn't bring Lee with me, so Stephen and Andrea stayed at my house, took care of Lee for a whole week, and it was really amazing. Andrea was always good with dogs, and we went and made my house kind of a base camp and stuff. So basically we spent a lot of time together exploring and whatever. We had talked about the camper before because they were kind of getting burnt out of traveling and stuff, and they wanted to get something like a Mercedes van or a Sprinter van, something like a conversion RV rather than, a rough kind of topper situation for off-roading, because they were kind of switching from that off-roading to more slower paced. And Andrea had mentioned to me if I was ever interested in a topper, she would sell it to me. I said, absolutely. And we had agreed on a price and agreed on everything. And then Andrea ended up going to the hospital. She developed blood cancer. And we continued to text back and forth. The plan was when she got out of the hospital, I would go see Stephen and Andrea, and it would be great, and I would pick up the topper from them. They would get some money from that to put towards their van, and it would be great, And while we were texting, Andrea seemed really optimistic about getting out of the hospital and everything. And one day, though, I did receive a text. I was in the mountains at the time. I received a text from Stephen. Andrea passed away. I can't describe the hurt I'm feeling right now. And I read that, and I remember that moment so well. So I ended up coming out to SoCal to see Stephen and pick up the topper. Seeing Stephen was great. I'm going to keep in touch with him, obviously, He's a good friend and he's an amazing person. And this topper, it's going to carry on to legacy. And that's what Andrea had said when she said if I was interested in it. She was like, you'd carry on to legacy of the topper. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, we're going to take good care of it because they had the same truck as me. Mine's a 2017, theirs is a 2020. And yeah, it's absolutely going to be a fantastic topper. That's the truck, you guys. That's the story behind the Tacoma. I bought it with the Project M in mind, because I was already planning to buy it from them, and I wanted a good setup. And the Project M with the Tacoma is just a great combo. It's going to work out super great with 63K miles on it. It's going to go a long ways. The truck's going to go long. I don't plan on removing the Project M. It's going to be good for the videos and just getting content. But I just kind of wanted to do this video coming out and filming, because here's the thing. If I would have just started making videos with it, people would see it and be like, what the crap? Why do you have their old camper now? But that's the story, is we talked about it for a long time, me taking it over. And this is all behind the scenes, you know? Mr. DiTavio here, he likes the topper. He can't really jump up too high into it. He's a small dog. He obviously can't get up into the bed, so I gotta pick him up. First meal in the Project M. Cooking up some steaks from Food for Less. Should be good. What's up, DiTavio? You'll get some steak, don't worry. Got the fans. This one's just open, the other one's pushing air out. And that's it today. As always, thank you for watching.